Today we're going to take a look at my Tag Heuer collection. If you'll notice, I own 3 Tag Heuers, and they're all from three different collections of Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer has several different collections. They're mostly a brand that sponsors and has celebrity sponsorship, or I guess ambassadors. So it's a very marketing intensive brand. And they've got basically, I'd say 3 levels of watches. They've got their, what most people would say are their overpriced quartz line. Then they've got their automatic line. And then they've got, I think, what you'd call a Carrera line. And the Carrera line is more of their higher horology pieces. And I'm gonna throw the Monaco in there too, their chronograph. But let's just show, these are all automatics, and one of these 3 is actually a chronometer certified automatic. So let's take a look at each watch, and let me tell you what I know about each. The first one I'm going to start off with is the first tag that I bought. I had a tag back in the day. It was a quartz when I worked in the jewelry business, but this is a Formula 1 GMT, and you might be able to see or might not be able to see, but there's a third hand on top of it. It's hidden right now because it's 11 o'clock back east. Well, actually it's 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock back east. So this one has the blue and black bezel. And the reason it's got those 24-hour markers is because this one is, like I said, a GMT. And what a GMT means is that in addition to the local time, you can keep track of other time zones. So let me set the time and show you how that hand works. So if you can see, below the number 22 is another dial. And right now it's about 7 o'clock here in Pacific time, which in New York time, that is 10 o'clock. But because it's 10 o'clock at night, you add 12, so it's 22. So you can see it's 22 o'clock in New York, and it's 7 o'clock in Phoenix. Also got a date, but again, it's a blue-black bezel. So right now we've got 2 different time zones. We've got the time zone here in Phoenix at 7 o'clock, and I know that it's PM because it's getting dark out. And in New York, because I don't know if it's dark or light, it's telling me that it's 22 o'clock or 2200 hours. This has got a nice metal bracelet. The one thing I don't care about is this is a pressed clasp, but it works. But it's a nice bracelet. I can change this out. It's a relatively nice case, not too thick, but it's solid. And this is an automatic movement. And the benefit of an automatic movement is no batteries. This is also water resistant, so I can jump in the water with it. I can go swimming, etc. So again, this is for water resistant for 200 meters. So basically, this is as good as a dive watch with the second feature, which is the GMT. But that's one of the things I liked about these tags. All 3 of these tags have some good water resistance, so you can swim with them. But it's the Formula 1 GMT Batman. Pretty sharp. The next watch I'm going to show you is an Autavia. The Autavia is a watch that's also an automatic, and what's different about this one, and I'll get it winding in a second, this one does have the rotating bezel. Very nice rotation. Very easy. Clicks in, lines up perfectly. This one does not have a screw down bezel. The other one, or a crown, this one does not. However, this does have 100 meters of water resistance, and it's a chronometer. What a chronometer means is that they send this watch for testing to an independent organization that verifies that indeed it's accurate to within a couple seconds plus or minus a day. They test it in various positions, and this one also has a second hand, a date, and this one's pretty sharp. This is a throwback to what used to be the way watches looked, but this is a classic watch with gaskets that keep it from leaking. So I stopped the camera so I could correct the time. It's got a nice blue bezel, a nice blue that fades into almost black. dial. I love it. Autavia automatic chronometer. And what's nice too, this has got more of a decorated back. I'll show you the back of this one. And Autavia is a blending of two words. Basically, automotive and aviation. Thus you can see a wheel and a propeller. But again, this is like 100 meters of water resistance, I think. Yep, 100 meters water resistance. Very classy watch. Not too thick, but solid. Again, Tag Heuer has the build quality, and I'm gonna say this, of like a Rolex, or of a Mega, or fill in the blank, but for less money. These are top-notch watches that I think for a good price, you can enjoy and have for years. The last watch I'm gonna show you is a Tag Heuer Aquaracer. This also has a rotating bezel, and this bezel has a nice sound to it. It's clickety-clack. But what I like about this has a white face, which is one of my only white face dials. Orange second hand. It's got that little date bubble that you have like on a Rolex. This is the caliber 5. That was the caliber 7. This was the Autavia. But this watch is just class. And then if you look at the dial, it's got those like wood planks from a ship. Let me wind this one up and get it running and get this synchronized with the other two. So now all three of these watches are roughly the same time within a second of each other. But what I like about this watch is that it also is 200 meter water resistance. Or I'm sorry, this is 300 meters water resistance. It's 1,000 feet. So 300 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters. But there's three different ways that the date. You got the date at the 3 o'clock, you got the date at the 6 o'clock, then you got the date at the 3 o'clock with the lens to give you that magnification so I can read. My poor eyes can read it. Let's see if I do this. Let's see if I can polish this bad boy up. And again, this is worth looking at the back. See, it's got that helmet, that diving helmet. So Aquaracer. So Aquaracer, automotive and aviation, and then Formula One. And as you can see in the intro of this video, they're involved in they're very involved in the racing community. But these are my 3 Tag Heuer watches. Which one's your favorite? I like them all. Here's a wrist shot of each of the watches. This one, of course, is the Aquaracer. Here is the Autavia chronometer. And here's the Formula One GMT Batman. All right, have a good night, guys.